Well, hello there, fellow Netflix enthusiasts and truth seekers, and welcome to our very first episode of Sublemonal Messaging, the channel where we delve deep into the world of modern cinema and identify the driving ideological narratives behind each film, one film at a time. I'm your host, the master of all things woke, and today we've got a real treat for you. Today we'll be watching Netflix's fourth most watched movie of all time, Glass Onion, a Knives Out murder mystery. This film is super fun, very lighthearted, it has a loaded cast and an insane amount of ideological statements concerning everything from race to gender and political affiliation. And this film also received high marks from both critics and audience members alike, with a 92% on Rotten Tomato, an 84% on Google, and a 7.1 on IMDb. And before we dive into the analysis, let's check out the top 3 themes that weave their way through this cinematic masterpiece. Ah, behold, the top 3 contenders. Up first, we've got men bad, women good. This theme really demonstrates the inherently terrible nature of men, while also showcasing how women are intellectually and morally superior in every way. Because this message simply does not get enough publicity. Am I right? Next, we've got the intriguing theme of conservatives bad, liberals good. This is a special favorite of mine, where filmmakers enlighten us simple viewers on how political ideology really is all you need to determine someone's moral compass. Forget nuance, forget diversity of thought, filmmakers know the truth. And finally, we have the thought-provoking theme of white people bad, people of color good. And here, Netflix writers are really trying to tell us how someone's good or badness really just depends on the color of their skin. Isn't it amazing how Netflix writers can so neatly categorize the entire human species based on our melatonin levels? It's wonderful. So there you have it, our top 3 themes for the film. But which one do you think will reign supreme in Glass Onion? Well, dear viewers, it's time to put your thinking caps on and decide for yourselves. Leave your guesses in the comments below, and let's see who really gets the mainstream message. And now, my fellow connoisseurs of cinematic enlightenment, it's time for a little subliminade. Let's dive into the whirlwind of wokeness that is Glass Onion.
Subliminal messaging, uncovering the hidden truths, one film at a time.
What's this?
I don't know. I've got the CNN thing and now.
It's from Miles.
Alright, and starting the film off right, I see. The reason that I'm pointing this out to you is because films often use characters to make statements about gender or race or political affiliation. And this film correctly identifies that men are lazy slobs and women are always professional and put together and clearly much better suited for leadership roles.
No. No phones.
Why can't she have her phone?
Because she's mean.
No. Because she's afraid that I will tweet an ethnic slur. Again. Yes.
Didn't even know that word referred to Jewish people. I thought it was a generic term for cheap. Jewy.
Similarly, filmmakers will often use a character to demonstrate common characteristics of someone's political affiliation. You'll eventually find out here that Birdie represents a very conservative, very Trump-like character.
Everything is so woke these days, it's out of control.
Yes.
Love you. Yes.
Now that the film has established how conservatives are terrible people, they can also establish how old white men are terrible people.
What is this thing?
Well, it's a Miles invitation.
Well, duh. But I mean, what is it?
Well, duh. I mean, I get it. This dude is so dumb. I mean, he's a man. So it's very annoying as a woman to have to put up with a man's stupidity all the time.
Now, is this a Miles thing? Have you figured out how to open it, Lionel? Lionel, use your science brain.
I'm working on it.
So again, it's more on the subtle side here, but we want to be very clear that white men are very dumb, but men of color are very smart.
So when we're talking about the breastification
The breastification.
Of America. I mean, what that means is a breakdown in the natural order. Evolutionary truths that go back billions of years. So when you're asking a young man in America to slow down so a woman can catch up...
Not only are conservative men dumb, but they're also very sexist.
Will you shut it? We've been over this a million times. I told you when me and Whiskey are alive, you gotta let us do...
You tell your mother to shut up.
Sorry, it's just when we're live.
What?
When we're...
What?
Jeez, Mom, sorry.
This is actually one of my favorite scenes of the entire movie. I just find it hilarious. She's slapping around this big beefcake of a man. I also think it's a great scene to showcase how Netflix often shows that women are very capable of using aggression to demonstrate their power.
Were those the things?
Magic eye things? I can never do those.
Mom, what I tell you about touching my stuff?
So again, this is a very subtle thing, but in the background you hear a white guy say, "Oh, one of those magic eye things? I can never do those." But who can? Well, of course, a person of color, because what else could demonstrate the theme that white people are bad and just inferior in every way, and people of color are good?
That's tic-tac-toe! I know this.
But it's solved already, so it can't
It's
be. But
tic-tac-toe.
thank you for contributing, Bertie.
It's tic-tac-toe! I know this one! I love how conservatives are so dumb that tic-tac-toe is the most complicated game or puzzle that they could recognize.
N. Maybe stands for something? Maybe in one of the other puzzles?
It's a compass.
Mom!
Once again, men, or in this case conservative men, are too dumb to figure it out, but who can? Well, women, of course. We've seen this one before, and we'll see it again.
Alexa, Shazam the song, please.
Hey, this is Bach's Little Fugue in G minor.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm Shazamming it.
We don't need your help, the racist white person says. I'm Shazamming it.
Freaking Miles, man. Genius.
That first one's a Fibonacci sequence.
Men are dumb.
How could you get enough of them?
Men are dumb part 2.
My dear friends, my beautiful disruptors, my closest inner circle.
We could all use a moment of normalcy, and so you are cordially invited.
For a long weekend on my private island.
You'll soon find out that Miles Braun is very representative of the typical conservative, and what could be more evil than desiring a weekend of normalcy? Now, what is going on here? Well, I'm glad you asked. This is kind of a subtle scene as well, but what it's basically showcasing is that women are aggressive and action-oriented, and they don't have time for the stupid games of men.
What just happened?
Blanc, I saw you go in the engine room. You're the imposter. We all know it.
I don't understand this at all. So Angie caught me, and now the game's just over?
I've got to say, the world's greatest detective? I thought she'd be better at this.
Now, I can't think of a scene that is more accurate of reality. Who could be worse at video games than white men?
But Philip told me you haven't left the bath for a week.
Oh, that's hyperbole. Well, get that, would you?
You're not in the bath again, are you?
Now to understand this one, you have to think in a little more nuanced of a way, but essentially, once you've seen the entire film, you will know that Daniel Craig's character, Detective Benoit Blanc, well, he's the best detective in the world. Now, Netflix couldn't give that to a straight man, so they had to make him gay.
We can't hug, right? I mean, can we? I just want to hug everybody. Oh my
Elder.
God, oh my God, hi. Yes, please. Did you two stay at the hotel last night? I didn't see you.
No, Bertie, we clearly just arrived.
But you. Hello, stranger danger.
Mr. Blanc, you are stranger danger?
No, absolutely not.
Hey, Duke.
Hello.
Hey, guys. Remember my girl, Whiskey?
Conservatives are so annoying with their disregard for COVID precautions. It's almost comical. No, I really love Kate Hudson's mask there. Very safe. Very, very safe.
Sir,
What is that?
open, please.
What is that? Is that some kind of disinfectant? Oh,
you're good.
No one in this scene was smart enough to ask the tough questions. No one except the gay man.
She's not in your little gang. She was. She is. Andy started Alpha with Miles 10 years ago, just the two of them.
That's Cassandra Brand.
Andy, yeah.
And they're no longer partners.
One legal move cut her out completely. Booted her without a dime. Social networked her.
Lord.
And one legal move, the white man kicked her out. Who else would kick out a person of color for their own personal gain? Now this was one of those little features that I knew had something significant behind it, but because I'm, well, a white man, I wasn't aware that this song was actually about the civil rights movement. And who would be better to sing it to kind of rub salt in the wound than a rich, conservative white man?
I know you guys think I'm a hippie, but can we just take a second and fully abbreviate this moment together?
Who would be so dumb as to make up silly words? Well, conservative white men, of course.
This rich people shit is weird.
So weird.
thank you. You know, I have occasionally put on the dog in my life, but this is stretching my stride-taking abilities.
Right? These actors, characters, would never know anything about being rich like conservative people do.
See, look, that's the thing. This isn't just a rich asshole house. It's not even a house. It's a commune.
No one downplays their wealth like rich conservatives do.
Wait, you received a box?
Yes, the wooden box was delivered to my home with some simple children's puzzles, which, once I completed them, there was an invitation inside.
Straight men's puzzles are no match for the gay man's intellect.
And Claire? You look so cute. Aw,
thanks, Bird.
You really try. I like that. You really make an effort.
Conservative compliments are always fake and backhanded.
Really, Duke?
Oh my God!
Really, asshole.
I think this one speaks for itself.
There was this little thing in my hand. I preferred that.
You had his little what in your hand? No, I'm just kidding. This one is clearly a commentary on how conservatives need to be in a position of power over others.
How long has it been?
Since the trial, so a few months.
The trial. Ugh, that was not fun. I mean, for all of us, for anybody, right, Peg? Right? I'm uncomfortable. I'm gonna go for a swim.
Conservatives simply can't handle the heat. They always run away at the first sign of conflict.
An analog that's...
Oh, look at this blast from my past. Look, everybody.
Is that Trump?
Look. Miles, you're so funny having this around. Well, then there was the whole thing with the Halloween costume.
Oh. It was a tribute to Beyonce, but people did not take it that way. Anyway, I had a lot of time at home.
It was a tribute. Definitely not culturally unaware or insensitive whatsoever.
You go with things that people are kind of tired of anyway. Everybody gets excited because you're busting up something that everyone wanted broken in the first place. That's the infraction point.
Just another dumb conservative using a word incorrectly. Nothing new to see here.
Wow. That was some real red pill stuff, Miles.
Red pill obviously refers to dumb conservatives, and everything a dumb conservative says is dumb.
But when nobody would touch Birdie with a 10-foot pole because she went on Oprah and compared herself to Harriet Tubman.
In spirit.
In spirit.
Every single one of you is holding on for dear life to Miles Bryan's golden titties. And each of you, you'll stab a friend in the back to hold on.
Wow. That was so real. Anyway, dinner's at 8. See you all there?
Anyway. Conservatives are so racist and dismissive of people of color. This is such a good portrayal of that.
I'm a truth teller. Some people can't handle it.
It's a dangerous thing to mistake speaking without thought for speaking the truth.
Now, whoever could they be talking about? Definitely not Trump.
Please don't do this. If you make her go through with it, her name is destroyed. If her name is destroyed, then my name is...
You gotta get her to make that statement.
Oh, my actions will ruin your life? I don't really care. I just need my stocks to go up 1%. Conservatives are cheaters, gold diggers, and cucks. Seems right to me.
Because I was clear with you. I told you I need 2 years minimum to test this stuff to see if it's safe or even viable.
Oh my God, Miles.
Guys, we did it. I'm out, I'm done. This is reckless. And you're gonna get somebody killed.
White conservative men reckless, people of color smart.
Oh, have we started already? Is it?
Well, the murder hasn't happened.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, why not? As Watson said to Holmes...
It was Birdie who planted a remote device on a crossbow in revenge for you stealing her signature Ren diamond. Of course, there are other superfluous and rather clumsy clues. The hedgerow in the south garden, that spells the letter B. Birdie's room is the sacred chakra, which is the one blocked by guilt. Blah, blah, blah. But she famously wore what became known as the Ren diamond. And that's a family heirloom, I believe.
Oh, to be clear, I mean, I didn't know what a blood diamond was. So...
Mr.
You know, like one of those mini crosswords, the Times head.
Conservatives are so dumb. They can't come up with good puzzles, and they don't know what blood diamonds are.
What the hell? That was not the simplest thing to set up. So, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It just... I hired Gillian Flynn to write the whole thing.
Oh, she's quite good.
She's goddamn expensive.
Conservative men can't do anything themselves. Then again, if it was written by a woman, how did the gay man know what it...
You know, you could just power down.
Ah, it's my Google alerts. Got them for all you guys. Whiskey, sports I like, general interests.
You have a Google alert for the word movie?
I like movies. Don't hate.
Thank God.
Don't hate, nerd. Let me have Google alerts for the word movies.
Nothing about any of this is fair. Congratulations, now you know. And we all stuck with Miles. What do you want?
We're sorry. We feel bad for you. What do you want?
Just drop the bombshell. Say it. Say it. I want the truth.
Now we have both a conservative and a liberal saying bad things. I guess white people are bad regardless of political affiliation.
I can give you that. I'll be the asshole. The truth is, we're all playing the same game here, honey. You lost. So you can go ahead and put yourself up on a cross like some unspeakable crime has been committed against you that none of us could possibly imagine. But me, I'm tired of pretending like you're the victim in this game. You just couldn't hack it. You're the loser. There. That's the truth.
Oof. White people might be bad, but leave it to conservatives to show their true racist colors.
Miles, Duke. I can see the headlines. Governor jets off to Greece in a pandemic with a men's rights YouTuber who dies.
And first one to die? Well, a weak, white, conservative man, of course. And just in case you weren't sure if he was conservative, they threw in the men's right YouTuber. Which, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Boat can't come till low tide in the morning, 6 a.m. at the earliest.
Do they understand the situation?
There is no other landing point, and Miles's dumbass Banksy dock was set to low tide height, and it isn't buoyant, it is a piece of shit.
Oh, heck.
White men aren't capable of creating good structures? No. People of color know the truth.
It just dinged. It must be here.
Yeah, I saw it.
We just heard it.
It isn't in any of his pockets.
Look at that white man run. What a coward.
And Miles was leader of the pack.
No, Andy was. They were all friends with Andy. Bertie was a washed-up model. Duke was a nerd doing video game tournaments. Claire just lost a race for city council. Lionel was a substitute teacher. All of them running around in their 30s. But Andy saw their potential. She found them all. Then she found Miles, introduced him to the group. This is Miles. And then the big thing happened.
What is that you're working on?
No, of course it wasn't Miles that was the ringleader. No, it was a woman.
No.
Andy, come on. This is it.
No, literally, Miles. This could blow up the world. The reality distortion field ends here. I can't let you do this.
What do you mean you can't let me?
I'll walk. And I'll take half the company to stop you from using it for this. And she did it. And God, I love that she did it.
Sometimes men need to be put in their place. Who better to do that than a woman?
Then she found out that Miles had the lawyers work the contract, so she was cut out the company completely.
Miles was very excited. He had an idea. He grabbed a napkin and he scribbled something on it to show.
Oh, that's a lie.
Who wrote this napkin? Yeah, Miles.
It was Miles.
Miles.
And here we have more evidence of white people stabbing friends of color in the back for personal gain. Now, Lionel, the character you see here, my guess is that he's supposed to represent conservatives of color and how they are somewhat self-hating their own demographic. Can't be really sure about that one because all this ideological stuff gets a little mixed up sometimes, know what I mean?
Duke just treats me like arm candy and they just ignore me.
Why do you put up with it?
With Duke? I'm building my brand. And he's putting me on his channel more often. Though, he's leaning harder right into this mandem stuff. Like, if I'm going to go into politics eventually, I don't think that's a road I want to go down. Like, it's expeditious, but it's kind of a shit show.
Conservative men just treat women like arm candy. But fortunately, conservative women, even though they're conservative, are smart enough to use men for their own gain.
Wow, no. You're really good at this. This is interesting stuff about whiskey and motives for both Lionel and Claire. Well done.
I don't know why people are critiquing Janelle Monáe's character as being a Mary Sue. It's not like she's perfect and naturally good at everything.
Bertie, please tell me you did not think sweatshops are where they make sweatpants.
Conservatives are so dumb.
This will be good. Oh! Shit balls! She's not going anywhere. Inside. It's time to finish this.
Women are tough. I mean, who can inhale hot sauce into their nostrils without even flinching? I can't.
I expected complexity. I expected intelligence. But that's not what any of this is. It hides behind mind-numbing, obvious clarity. His dock doesn't float. His wonder fuel is a disaster. His grasp of disruption theory is remedial at best. Et voila! Miles Braun is an idiot.
And there it is. Basically the thesis of the entire movie. Donald Trump... Miles Braun is an idiot.
But think! Ignore his lies, everyone, and think clearly now. What did we all actually see? You handed Duke your own glass. Clear as crystal. Right in front of our eyes. All of us. And then told a bald-faced fabrication.
Oops, one more thing to add. Not only is he an idiot, but he's also a liar.
Who did the envelope threaten? Miles Braun. And Andy lets him in. Of course you did. Miles's machine of lawyers and power could destroy her through sheer dumb force, but Miles himself? Oh, she was clever enough not to fear Miles.
Does he keep a vial of poison in his tooth or something? Is that some rich person thing?
No. It's so much stupider than that. He just put pineapple juice in his whiskey. It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
Do you not get it yet? Conservative men are not clever, they're just dumb. Stop falling for their dumb lies.
Died of an apparent suicide. She is survived by her sister, Helen.
Helen. You told me about Helen, your sister. Oh, wait!
I gotta give it to Kate Hudson there. That was a spot on dumb person delayed reaction.
Okay, but second,
He just burned it.
burned what? I didn't see anything.
You burned it.
Oh, now this one is loaded with messages. White conservative men lie. Why? To hold their power over people of color. Obviously.
Nobody stepping up? Raise your hand and say, I saw him take Duke's gun. I saw the napkin before he burned it.
We didn't. We didn't.
And now the second big point of the film. White people and conservatives turn a blind eye to the truth because that's the only way they can preserve their power and privilege over people of color.
I have to answer to the police, the courts, the system. There's nothing I can do. Except maybe offer you some courage.
Now here's where the film gets really interesting, I think. Who does Detective Benoit Blanc represent? I think he represents left-leaning leaders. Keep watching. So let's see. Women are bold. Violence is justified when big, bad, white conservative men commit injustices. What else?
Mona Lisa. Are you real? Mona Lisa.
And there we have it, folks. White conservative men care more about protecting art and tradition than they do about correcting the injustices toward people of color. Now, whatever could that be commentating on? What recent events might that be referring to where statues and art were vandalized and other things of that nature? I don't know. Probably not relevant.
You baby! Ah, you child! You feel better now? I hope your little bitch tantrum gave you closure, because it accomplished nothing!
What other well-known, high-profile white conservative man throws tantrums when he doesn't get what he wants?
Your feel of the future just barbecued. The world's most famous painting, you dumbass. Congratulations on the public launch of Clear and the end of Miles' prime.
No. Gang, we all saw the same thing. Am I right?
I saw the napkin he burned.
Well, what have we learned? Essentially, when liberals and people of color work together, they can stop the bad white conservative man. And now, the moment everyone has been waiting for. Which of our top 3 themes will reign supreme? Alright, so the third most important message of this film is that white people bad, people of color good. 16 instances of that. In second place, we have 27 moments of men bad, women or LGBT people good. And coming in on top is conservatives bad, liberals good, and 42 moments of it. So at the end of the day, what this film is really trying to communicate is that conservatives are evil, rich, morally bankrupt, racist, and sexist. I'm glad we could all get on the same page. And finally, it's time to end the episode with the woke folks count. First off, I'm happy to report that there are 0 straight white males in the Good Guy and Cool Cats count. Well done, Glass Onion, well done. But we can report at least 2 people of color, and for sure 3 minorities, 1 person of the LGBT community, and 4 women. Now, you could argue that maybe Lionel and Claire don't really belong on this list since they were on Miles's side for the majority of the film, but I do think they qualify as a cool cat because Lionel is extremely intelligent and Claire is a polished CNN reporter, and those are pretty cool roles. Moving on to the bad guys and losers. As you can see, Glass Onion did a pretty good job bringing down the patriarchy with this film, but they did drop the ball with at least 2 of these characters. As you can see, 4 of the villains, or bad guys and losers, are straight white males, but 2 of them are actually straight white women, which, you know, isn't as desirable as straight white males. It is a little more acceptable though, because they are both conservatives and one of them is a gold digger. Well, that's everything, folks. I hope you enjoyed Glass Onion and our very first episode of Subliminal Messaging. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything though, because there's a lot to these films and a lot of the messages are subliminal. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Later, Lemonheads.